Hi, everybody, and welcome to Path of Peace. Thank you for joining me once and again. Today, we have another beautiful theme, not only for practice but also for pick a card reading. And the theme is choosing love instead of fear. And I know that these are big words, but let's break it down and see how we can use it practically in our everyday life. So you can do a practice with me, a short mindfulness practice to center your energy, and then you can choose from 3 spreads, and there will be messages to support your journey. I am placing timestamps down below so you can follow the whole content of this video, the whole program, as I say, usually, or you can choose just a part of it and follow what you need. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for giving thumbs up if you feel called to do so. And let's just start with the practice. And you can be sitting down, you can be laying, just relaxing. Please do not do this exercise if you are operating machinery or driving a car. And just allow yourself to relax. Allow yourself to feel your body in this moment without any judgment, just being aware of how you feel, how you are doing right now. Connecting with the breath. And allow yourself to drop all these to-do lists and worries. You can even claim it for yourself out loud or quietly, silently in your mind. This is my peaceful time. This is my peaceful moment. Breathing in and breathing out. This is my peaceful moment. And just allow yourself to connect for a moment with these little tiny things that you can be grateful for in your life. And right now, in this moment, just recognizing everything that life is providing for you. So maybe you will be aware of the clothes that you are wearing, and you can feel gratitude for your clothes. Maybe you will recognize that you are surrounded by maybe a tree or a flower, or maybe there is little beautiful stone placed on your table, or maybe you can see a piece of blue sky out of the window. And just allow yourself to connect and feel gratitude with those little things that sometimes we take for granted. And we usually learn to appreciate them when we lose them. So just allow yourself to feel and be connected with these little tiny things that life is offering you every day. It is the water that you drink, the food that you eat, the air that you breathe, maybe a beloved friend or a family member. And as you keep connecting with appreciation, with these little tiny things in your life, you can feel your heart opening and softening, recognizing on a much deeper level what really matters in life, what is important. And feel your roots growing deep into the earth. As your energy is calming down and centering, your resilience is growing and strengthening. And you know in your heart and in your whole being that you have capacity and ability and skills to walk peacefully and with love through any difficulty, through any challenges. And just breathe in one more time and breathe out. And you can open your eyes if you close them. And you can look around. Maybe you can shake your body a little bit or massage your face. And bringing this peace further into your day. Thank you for joining me for this brief practice. And indeed, you can stay with me and you can choose your spread number 1, number 2, number 3. Today we are working with the theme choosing love over fear. So I will go ahead and I will start with pile number 1. So pile number 1, you have Jaguar, and then you have embracing enthusiasm, shouts to the heavens with happiness. Beautiful. So it is interesting because as I chose for all of us who will be coming into this video, as I chose the theme choosing love over fear, it is a very powerful symbol to have Jaguar here. Because Jaguar is a symbol of fearlessness. It is a symbol of integrity, truthfulness, walking the good path, making the right choices, not necessarily easy choices, but the choices that are truthful. Jaguar is teaching us how not to abuse power, how to stay in it with grace, with love, with compassion, with wisdom. It is a powerful symbol that is digesting and transforming our shadow side, our, how to say, bad behavior, like lying and stealing and abusing power. It almost feels like Jaguar is a master of pinpointing these bad habits and bad behavior in our life and guiding us back to more integrity, fearlessness, standing in the healthy power, healthy empowerment. So it almost feels there that for some of you, to step more into love means to start maybe trusting yourself more, maybe changing some unhealthy habits, maybe setting a strong moral healthy container and not being swayed by the world, because many times in the world bad behavior is being approved. Stealing and lying is sometimes even like how to say glorified. This world in many ways and on many different levels is glorifying unhealthy things, and Jaguar is like that, calling back to integrity, calling back to that healthy moral codex, calling back to that healthy ethics as human beings. And what is really powerful is that it's not easy path, because you may feel lonely on it when you have this really high standard, but there is a reward. There is a reward for that warrior path. There is a reward which is like you can stand in your strength. You can stay strong. You can lean in that capacity of truthfulness. And sometimes being truthful and fearless also means to acknowledge our mistakes and fears. Very powerful medicine here. And when I take into consideration the next card, it almost feels like you did some hard job. You did some hard work. And now there is more like this joyful energy coming in, more enthusiasm or happiness, or maybe relief on some level. Yeah, Jaguar is a beautiful energy that can bring relief in digesting that heavy energy in our lives. So there is this beautiful story about maybe you connecting suddenly with more hope, with more joy, with it almost feels like learning how to stop constantly looking into fear, but start looking into your courage. Stop looking into the fear and start looking into love. It almost feels like changing perception, focusing differently. And it can somehow help you in in that shift from fear to love. I will pull out some more cards. How is it that you can continue shifting from fear to love? Are there any messages here? This is fascinating. There is a rabbit card, and rabbit is another powerful symbol of fear. So, okay, I will continue pulling some more cards. There is a card of skills. Wow, there are some more cards coming through. And all of them are pretty much pinpointing the self-empowerment. So there is some kind of powerful story for this group. Let me organize a little bit. So, okay. So, a rabbit. A very powerful symbol of fear. It is almost like that type of mentality and mindset that is telling you, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if, big eyes. So There is an invitation for this group, and again, try to find for yourself where does it fit specifically in your life. But there is this beautiful invitation to recognize how your fear is twisting your reality. How your fear is twisting your reality. You can maybe even ask a question right now in your life. What is it that I am so scared of? And if I imagine that I would not be in such fear, how would my life look like? And for some of you, it may be a difficult question because you may find yourself in those parts of the world that are very challenging. You know, it's not just about some childhood fear or some behavior pattern. For some of you, it may be very heavy themes like war, hunger, environmental changes, loss of home, lots of fear, lots of confusion. So I'm not saying this lightly because I do recognize that some fears are very deep, some things are very painful in life. Yet at the same time, this invitation is still present. How can I recognize this fear? How is this fear changing my reality? And who can I become when this fear is gone or when this fear is somehow settled? And having that vision of who you can become is very important, because even if the fear is present, even if very fearful conditions are present, having that vision of who you can become is very powerful by itself. So it's like beautiful invitation. And what is beautiful, it almost feels like this jaguar, this powerful jaguar, this strength, this empowerment, this capacity to transform any life experience into something good. It almost feels like this jaguar is ready to digest and devour this rabbit. So ultimately, there is this beautiful cycle that what you will embrace will become your energy, will become your food, so to speak. You can digest your fear. You can walk through it. It doesn't mean to resent it. It doesn't mean to push it away. It doesn't mean to diminish it, just simply acknowledging it. What is fascinating is that you have a card of skills. It is Eight of Pentacles in regular tarot. So it is like being very patient when you are bringing forth this new version of you that is empowered. It doesn't need to happen in one day. It is for the rest of your life, maybe. Yeah. It is almost like you are a rough diamond and you are being polished. So how do I keep polishing my skills in self-empowerment? There's this beautiful card, five of uh, five of five of five of bows. Five of bows. Please forgive me. I'm sometimes clumsy with these cards because I have cards from all different languages and I have to translate in my head, and English is not my mother tongue. So I'm doing as best as I can. So this is another card of empowerment. How can I strengthen myself through fear? How can I strengthen myself through challenges? What is also beautiful is that it is not you going against your fear with all gear that you have. Yeah, it is usually a waste of energy. When we start fighting our fears and we gear up all our vital force just to beat the fear, not working. It is more about that peaceful skillfulness, peaceful skillfulness, and joyous effort. Yeah, joyous efforts that will bring us through that. Sometimes we need to laugh about it. Sometimes we need to create something beautiful. Sometimes we need to cry. Sometimes we need to embrace it. I don't know what specifically it is for you, but there is this beautiful story of who you can become when you transform that fear, when you use it wisely in your life. And no matter what that lesson is for you right now or situation, it almost feels like there is a message that you have capacity to walk through that. You have all skills needed. You have everything that you need to face these deep fears or some challenging layers in your life or situations. And this card, this final one, Tree of Life, Completion, this is a card that just came out by itself. And it is talking about completion. It is talking about understanding the cycles of life. It is also talking about coming out of a maze. So it almost feels that for some of you, you may have been cycling in this fear for such a long, long time that at some point you may have started to believe that it's you. Yes, it almost feels that for some of you, it almost started to feel like because there have been so much fear or so much anxiety that you couldn't see yourself for who you really are, and you started to believe that you are your fear, but you are not your fear. And this is what is basically the main thread of this reading, is that you are not your fear. You have skills and capacities to overcome your fear and become very empowered. Very beautiful message. I hope that you will find here something that you can journal with or that you can take into your mindfulness practice. I hope that this will serve in some way. You can let me know in the comments indeed. And thank you for joining me. And I will be moving to the next group. So bye-bye for now. Okay, so this is for those of you who chose pile number 2. And we are working with the theme, how to come from fear to love, choosing fear over love. So what is your supportive message? You have squirrel, beautiful squirrel. And then breaking trail, a breakthrough is at hand. Beautiful. It almost feels like maybe you are breaking through some fearful patterns. Maybe you can suddenly have a major breakthrough in your life. Maybe you have been creating a new pattern in your life and suddenly it is coming to fruition. Suddenly you can experience change. It almost feels like for this group, it is like a confirmation that your hard work will bring reward into your life. The squirrel is a beautiful animal symbol that is talking about how do I store my energy? How do I store my energy? How do I work with resources? Do I have enough resources for winter time or for dry season? So squirrel is about, it almost feels like bringing energy back to you, bringing energy back to you. Love is bringing energy back to you. Coming out of fear is bringing energy back to you. It almost feels like there is a capacity to experience some breakthrough and receive maybe some new resources. It almost feels that maybe you also are growing your capacity to how to say to work efficiently with your resources and with your energy. So how can this group come from fear to love? What are some more messages? Swan. Leaving a difficult situation with grace. This is the message coming through. Leaving a difficult situation behind your back and leaving with grace. Not with fighting, not with resistance, but just by grace. Like a swan. Swan is such a beautiful feminine energy. It's flowing. Yeah, it almost feels like you are leaving something, which is beautifully connecting with the breaking trail, experiencing breakthrough. Yes, the devil card or watcher in this deck specifically. This card is usually talking about, these very hard-wired, fear-based, limiting patterns. It is almost like having some kind of heavy energy stuck in your life, maybe in money, maybe in relationships, maybe something inherited from your ancestors, through your family, through your culture, part of the world where you live. Devil is usually like this heavy energy that is connecting us with abusive relationships or with toxicity in life. And it almost feels like there is something that came up to the surface so that you could see it very clearly. It is almost like a skeleton in a closet, so to speak, something that was there, rotting, and suddenly it was coming out from time to time, like some fears that were coming from time to time, so some limiting beliefs that were coming from time to time. And this energy usually creates havoc in our lives. It can be something toxic, something abusive, something painful, something from the past that we do not need anymore eventually. And it almost feels like now you have capacity to leave it. There is the breaking trail up here. There is the swan card, leaving with grace. The squirrel is talking about like, how do I wish to use my energy? How do I wish to use my resources? Do I wish to use it in something that's not working anymore, that is fear-based, that is abusive? Or do I wish to flow more with grace? Do I wish to start connecting more with kindness, with forgiveness? And usually when we wish these things in our lives, we have to start cultivating them through mindfulness, through forgiveness, through really dedicated effort. And eventually we can leave these old dysfunctional things behind. Yes, you have so many beautiful, beautiful symbols that are connected with flow, with water, with playfulness. Otter is another very feminine energy. It almost feels like in this group you can benefit from being more in a feminine energy right now in your life than masculine. And feminine is usually like very gentle, playful, decisive, the right action, but non-violent action. It is about listening. It is about going with the flow. It is about expressing your love, receiving love. But there is some kind of like definitely like a movement from something old, from something that is no longer serving you. This card is also beautiful. It almost feels like for some of you, you have capacity to see that what you have been so scared of, what was so fearful in the past, it almost feels like it lost its power. Yeah, those are the words are coming through very clearly. Like that, what was holding you in the past as some kind of deep fear has no power over you anymore. It is like dry bones, you can let it go. Not only that you can let it go, but it has no power over you anymore. It has no power over you anymore. So there is like this beautiful invitation to recognize what fear was holding me back, and to recognize that it has no power. It doesn't have to have power over you anymore. That you have different capacities now. There is like this energy of grace, of playfulness, much more lighter energy. So how can I invite it into my life? What is my flow? Yeah, there is some kind of breakthrough that you can experience. Hopefully it will make sense to this group. Indeed, you can let me know in the comments, what is it that you chose for yourself? How can you take it into your practice? And thank you so much for joining me. And I will be moving to the final group. Okay. Okay, so moving to the final group. Let me just organize myself a little bit. For those of you who chose group number 3, and we are working with the theme choosing love over fear. So you have butterfly, beautiful. Almost feels like all groups are in some way transforming the fear. Joy and delight. Open your heart to joy. So it is very beautiful because the butterfly is teaching us to recognize which stage in life we are in. You know, is it a caterpillar? And it is asking us, what is it that I'm feeding myself on? Which is beautiful. Am I feeding myself on fear, or am I feeding myself on love? Or maybe you are in a stage of cocoon, which is like resting and digesting. And if you have been digesting fear, now it can be a difficult rest. And if you have been digesting love, maybe now you are in this peaceful state, like gestating and waiting for the butterfly to come out. So butterfly is eventually a beautiful invitation to see, where am I in life right now? Where am I? And then recognize this beautiful transformation that is, it almost feels like you are coming out as a butterfly. And there is also like this little girl has these butterfly wings on her back. It almost feels like you are ready to come out as a butterfly. Yeah, maybe some of you in this group are in the stage of cocoon or stage of caterpillar or even egg of the butterfly. But I feel that majority maybe of you, or the strongest message here, is readiness to come out and shine as a butterfly. It almost feels like you did the work, and you can shine now. You can show yourself in the world, you can share with the world. Okay, so we have more cards coming through, oh, quite a lot. So I will pull just some from this part, and wow, it is interesting. The horse came out repeatedly. So we have the symbol of the horse, or it is a Knight of Pentacles. And then we have, I don't know how this animal is called in English, but I know that you will definitely know. And it is connected with Page of Fire, Page of Wands. And then we have the card of Temperance, number 14. Okay, so let me see what the story might be here. Overcoming fear and coming to love. There is definitely some kind of transformation that I can feel, or you are invited to do, because I'm not reading future, I'm not reading past. I'm just pinpointing to a specific a potential that is available, and indeed you can choose. But I feel like there is transformation of the heart. There's like so much light coming out of this like heart space. So it almost feels like there is a transformation of the heart, and you may suddenly become much more lighter, much more open-hearted. It almost feels like you can come to so much more balance suddenly. It almost feels like there is suddenly like more harmony coming into your life, a better capacity to manage your energy, which is the horse symbol, because horse is like a symbol of vital force, of energy, of self-empowerment. And if the horse is way too wild, it is running from one place to another, like a wild horse. But it almost feels like you suddenly have capacity to use your energy and your personal power in much more balanced way. And it is somehow happening through open heart. It is not by force. I feel like it's not happening by force. It is more like through your heart. And it almost feels like, okay, let me just see. I'm not quite sure about this final card, so I will pull some more as a clarifier. How does it fit in the story? Yes. It almost feels like in this group, you are learning to focus your energy much better. There is somebody or something that can help you to grow. Yes, I feel like there is somebody or something that can help you grow so that you can focus your energy in life so much better. And it almost feels like you may have been like galloping from one place to another, that your personal power or your life path was somehow scattered. Maybe you didn't know where to go, maybe you didn't know how to focus your energy. And suddenly there is this transformation happening. Something changes in your heart. Something changes in your heart. There's like this heart opening, and there is suddenly so much more balance and a much better capacity to focus your energy in the right direction. There is something that you can learn. There is something that you can learn in this group. Some people in this group can learn something from someone wise or older, maybe from an older family member, because it almost feels like there is some kind of grounding power that is supporting you to aim in the right direction, to focus your energy in the right direction. Okay. It is interesting. It almost feels like there is a part of a story. I feel this card very strongly, just even without shuffling. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups. This is where you are aiming. And it is beautiful because the theme was choosing love over fear. And suddenly this person on this card, I'm sorry, you can't see it. Suddenly this person on this card is focusing all their energy to love. All energy goes to the heart. There's like this beautiful heart opening happening in this group. It's another energy of open heart. There's suddenly like something beautiful is flowing into your life. You can come out, you can open up. There's like these living waters that are healing something in your life. And maybe it almost feels like for some of you, it almost feels like you have been running your whole life, running away from something, maybe panic for some of you. I'm like receiving the word panic for some of you, or fear, being chased by fear, running from one place to another, being like very, how to say, unsettled, very restless. And suddenly it almost feels like you are coming home to your heart. You are coming home to your heart. And there is capacity to be in so much more balance suddenly, to be in so much more balance, to avoid extremes, and to really live from, how to say, more heart-centered space. Very beautiful. I don't know what it means for you. You can let me know in the comments. It's just like an invitation. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you will be able to find some resonance here. Thank you, and I will hopefully connect with all of you again soon with another practice and with another reading. So thank you, and bye bye for now.